And so I stopped, I cleaned it again, and it got worse. And that's when we bumped it and the thing started on fire.
We got one of our good customers. It's a charter company. They run charters pretty often, almost every day out of Key West. He has a Mercury 300 V8s, but he's been having a lot of issues with them. Can't blame the motors because they have 3,000 hours and they've been running, for a very long time. But this port motor is drinking about a gallon of oil a day when they go out for a charter. He decided to repower, so we're gonna pull these V8s off and put new V8s on and get them going. You guys can see all this oil all over the intake cover. What's happening is this motor's, because of internal wear in it, it's causing blow-by, and you can see it push the dipstick out actually. There's positive crankcase pressure inside the block, and it's pushing oil out wherever's the easiest point. And there's corrosion everywhere on this motor. But it's pretty impressive for 3,000 hours for a charter company that runs the boats hard for it to last this long. The other one's not so bad. I don't know if they just broke that trim tab off now when they picked it up.
Very busy place with boats coming and going. Our other guys are just right next door to Manny and I. We have a boat in between us here. Don't hit your head like Matt.
No.
Freak accident, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's why they call it an accident. So Manny says that he'll probably keep these for spare parts again, like he's done previously. You never know when you might need something.
So I got all the harnesses de-rigged. I got the steering unbolted. The only thing that's holding up the motors now is just the bolts. So I'm gonna work on the bottom bolts, and that way we just have two top bolts holding the motor, and then whenever I call a forklift over, it's quick and easy just to unbolt the two bolts, and we can lay this on a pallet.
Fourth done, right, Manny?
Yeah.
And if I was so grumpy every day, I shouldn't come to work like that. Hey, the ladies are coming back to help you. The hard work's...
No, this lady is coming to tell you I'm going home.
The hard work's done. Nice job, Manny did it. Got one off.
Yeah, just got to get the rest of the bolts off of that one, the bottom ones, and then it'll be ready to pick up in the morning.
Okay.
And put it on a pallet. And then we can start hanging the new ones after we clean up the transom and silicone and then 5,200 of the new ones and put them on.
All right.
What are we doing today, Chris?
So we are here where you're going to get the props off. Just kind of wanted to make a mental note. So the original props are still on and in their original position. You can see here that it's not sitting quite flush back. And then if you look on the back side, get real close so you can actually see. Here's the keyway. Here's where the back face of the prop. But you can see that the original, maybe before these were installed, but at some point there was a propeller that actually sat all the way back at this growth line here. And it's the same way on the other side. It gets still like covering some of the threads. And then let's go over to the other side and you can see the same thing. You can see the growth line, keyways protruding out of the back. Take these out of the way. And using these as, and that's still the prop itself is actually covering some of the nuts. So we're just replacing all of the zincs and whatnot, cleaning up the shaft. So when the new one comes on there, it's got a clean surface to attach to, so it does its job. So just getting knocking down all the high spots from old marine growth. Getting two shaft zincs, some thruster zincs. We're gonna pull off anything that's underwater and has a zinc. Gonna get it replaced.
All right, we have a nice little ovation here. We had a problem where the starboard engine would not start. So we have a 3-engine system here. Starboard center and port. EVC system, electronic vessel control. PCU, power control unit. This unit right here was stopping the engine from starting up. So we have put a new one in. We had to program it. So we used our Vodia computer to program the EVC. Now this one, as you see, is an EVC-D. The one we took out was an EVC-C. They're compatible. Now we just have to configure it and do all the settings for the throttle, the steering, and other system settings. We do that at the helm. Okay, we're up at the helm. We've got to do the calibration and auto configuration. We have changed the power control module. You will see here, don't know if you can see this very well, but it tells you that check the engine EVC system. come up here to the control and you put the mode for the port engine first. Choose the control you're going to calibrate here. Turn your port switch on. Then you'll come down here and you follow the prompts. Then calibrate the throttles by moving one detent, that's forward idle. Press your acknowledge button here. Go back, go to full forward, acknowledge button. Neutral, acknowledge button. Reverse, idle, acknowledge button. Full throttle reverse, acknowledge button. Back to neutral and the acknowledge button again. That sets your calibration for the throttles. On this boat, that's the only thing we have. There's no trim, there's no fishing mode, sports fisher mode or any of this. So single calibration on the handles. You read everything on these tachometers and that's it. So we had an error after the starboard engine started up. So I have to go check that. That could be the cause of the PCU going out the first place. We'll check that real quick and see what happens.
So Manny and I are back at it again today for motor number 2. We already have our new ones delivered though, so we're already halfway there.
It's got these 2 last bolts, and we can hook up a chain to the forklift and pull these off. Pull this last one off. This bar stays, but this, yeah. All right, let's go.
The camera lady gets to do the mechanic job.
Yep. Oh, this is already broke. See how it's sticking up? Somebody already either whacked it or... I'll take a picture. Like Charles says, probably.
I'd say this is a problem.
All right, go back. You gotta hold it, and it'll start to flash. Is it dead?
Nope. Right.
Is it flashing?
No, I just make it. Hold on.
Yeah, hold it.
Yep.
It'll start flashing, and then you can let go. There you go.
Be sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and keep watching.
Yep. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, success. We got the second one going on now.
We got the motors hung. Now we gotta finish up on the bottom bolts, connect all the rigging, and we'll be good again.
10 hours?
No, not 10 hours. Probably about 3.5. Yeah. We gotta check all the oils too.
Alright, so today, Mel and I are back. We're going to be putting the rudders back in the boat. And well, that's why Mel's here. Mel's here to help me out. I can't do that by myself. And after we get those set, Mel's going to go over there and take the coupling off. And then I'm going to start putting new zincs all over the boat because they definitely needed it. You know, it's the end of their life for sure. So, hi, Mel.
Hello.
Jolly good morning to you. Both rudders are back in, all fully hooked up. 2 brand new shaft zincs for each shaft, all new plate zincs as well. This stud came out with the old zinc when we took it out, so Mel and I just put it back in with some 5200. It's all nice and sturdy now. We just have to replace the zincs on these, replace the fan blades, as you can tell, missing a few. And what else do we have to do on this boat, Mel?
I'm not sure.
Ah, okay.
Maybe I'll be able to get Greg on video, see what he's been catching lately. This is where the guys were starting. We were supposed to be hanging some rudders today, putting on some zincs and getting this beauty ready to go back in the water here pretty soon. Oh, I see somebody underneath, so I guess they're still working at it. Looks like they got 1 rudder in, so that is awesome. Just be careful of your head.
Hi. Want to hurt the boat?
We already have a head injury.
Don't want to hurt the boat.
No, we don't want to hurt the boat.
Most unstable thing that you could possibly find.
And I went and got more, I guess, because this is lower ground.
Yeah.
Is that going to hold it up in the air?
Yeah, it's going to lift it up in the air, too.
Let's see this rocket science that you got going on here. Redneck ingenuity.
Hey.
Matt said okay for a floor jack. It's too bad somebody took our floor jack.
Push it up. Take it out. I just put it in.
Here, want me to get that?
I got the strap holding it up. It's all the way up against the boat. Yeah, it's coming out of the dinghy.
To finish my video, I did talk with Greg over there at the Salty Goat, and he's out for routine maintenance. He says every 2 years the Coast Guard's going to come. He says he thinks he's looking pretty good, so good for him. Back to the shop I go. Done helping Mel pile up that wood so he could get that rudder in. I was glad I was here to be able to help him since AJ was inside the boat. So I'm out here this morning just doing a quality check on what we did yesterday. Chris and I are just making sure that the trim tabs are working properly. He was just asking me if each side was up and down. Okay, we got up and down. I have Manny heading over here so that he can do a quality check, and then we're going to move on to the other boat, one that's in the fleet of charters here. He's having problems with his coil pack, so the boat got a couple notifications, so we're going to go and take some parts from the old engines and put it on the other boat for him. Well, that's a pretty nice rainbow.
We finished up yesterday, this repower. We're just coming today just with a fresh open day and open mind, just to verify everything was done correctly and just do a quality check. Customers should be good to go. Matt couldn't make it in today, so we're just gonna double check everything.
You're Matt's eyes, are you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well,
So,
good for us.
Yeah.
I think we've told you a couple times about these amazing tub of towels and the cleaning that they do.
Wish Tubble Towels would comment. We could be a sponsor.
Exactly. They just help save time, that's for sure, with cleanup, make it much easier. I actually would probably think that the quality of our work looks much better because of tub of towels, actually, because it cleans up quick, easy, and the guys have those big tubs in each of their vehicles so that we can make our jobs look professional when leaving. Nothing's worse than having a job that is dirty when the customer arrives.
So whenever you're doing a repower, these bolts on the steering bracket are known to shear off when you start to remove them because corrosion gets in there. And Mercury provides extreme grease to put around the bolts, so when you put them in, you can get them out easy next time. We went ahead and put the new hardware on there. We also put the new hardware for the steering actuators there. And then we put brand new bolts to mount the motors. All of that's not necessary, but it's good and easy, especially for like a charter boat to repower next time. It's all going to be fresh and not 10 years old. So.
Okay, finished up here, on to the next one.
Stern thruster motor catches on fire in one of the boats we were working on. So let me give you a quick recap. It scared the crap out of me, by the way. We got a call because the main disconnect, which is also an automatic switch that connects when you hit the bow thruster joystick, was not working. It was broken. The whole handle fell off. So we ordered a new one and we put that in. Chris was getting frustrated, so I came down. We discovered that the motor was seized up because the motor was getting power, but it would not rotate either direction. So I pulled the cover off the end of it and got a look at the commutator ring, which that's where it's on the armature, and that's what all the brushes ride on. So you got carbon brushes on a copper thing, and it's got all these little slots in it, and it flips the polarity back and forth, and I'm not going to get into how that all works. We found out that a new motor, I think it was $10,000 to $12,000, and it was going to be like 14 weeks out. The company's in the UK, so European stuff. I took some pictures and video and I showed him what it looked like. He asked me, he says, well, I said, I can try to clean it. I offered first, I said, well, let's pull it out and take it to Key West Electric, their electric motor shop here in town, and let them take it apart and clean it. And I sent pictures to the owner and my buddy Dale, and he said, no way, don't bring that into my shop. It's too far gone. So we went back and I told the owner, hey, and I said, all I can do is try. Look at this guy snoozing here. He barely even cares that I'm here. He's got his eyes half closed and he's getting some sun. Brown pelican. The owner asked me, he says, okay, give it a try. So I did. And we got it to rotate, but it was sparking a lot. I guess I wish I had more better video, but you know, it's kind of down in the hole and the owner was there. So cleaned it, got it to run kind of. And so I stopped, I cleaned it again, and it got worse. And that's when we bumped it and the thing started on fire. And I was like, oh. I ended up pouring some sports drink on it to put the fire out. What happened was some of the insulation caught on fire I just told the owner, I was like, man, I'm sorry, dude. You're going to have to run without your stern thruster, because he was leaving. And he was very grateful, thankful. He's going to contact the boat manufacturer, Marlowe, and see if they have one laying around. I don't know that they will, but he could try. So that's my fire story. I would say that's the only actual fire I've had on the boat. We've had smoke, we've had arcing. The fire was out in a matter of seconds. It was not a big deal. We secured electricity right away and doused it, and that was it. So tell me your scary stories. If you got any boating stories that are scary, as far as, you know, it doesn't have to be just fire. It can be anything. Let me know what they are. I'd be curious to see.
Okay, so we don't go inside of the lower unit. Sorry, yeah, yes, inside of there, but when you drop it, it sits right up here.
So Mel is here today to learn about impellers on a lower unit. He's always our generator guy that does the impellers, so
Yeah,
this should be easy for him.
super easy.
Does
Hey.
the same thing.
Rule of thumb, if it doesn't want to go, don't force it, all right?
No big hammer.
Don't, like, there should be no reason to slam a lower unit in,
Okay.
or don't do what people do is they'll tighten it down with the bolts. Make sure that it
make
sits
sure it
flush,
slides in. Yeah.
and don't use the bolts to tighten
pull
it
it,
down,
yeah.
because it'll bind up in there and then you'll crack stuff.
Get
That
out.
one,
And the one from the
one
bottom.
from there, one from there. Let me see.
Well, there's 3 down here.
Okay, there we go. All right, now rock it a little bit because it's catching in the back.
It's like something's holding it up here.
I think it's jammed up inside. Like, just keep doing that a little bit and then we'll wiggle. There we go.
There it is.
Keep going. You can set it on the ground as long as it doesn't, like,
You're going to have to trim up a bit.
you got that?
Yeah, I got it. There we go. It's this area here and this area here that you worry about. This doesn't touch anything. Just this area and this area.
I didn't realize I was doing a 300 yesterday, so I just brought one of the extractors. So I got as much as I could, and there was still another 1.5 quart left. So we're getting that last little bit. We're gonna plus it up with oil. As soon as he's done with that, we'll slap that back in. The first thing that I usually do when I do a service is drain all of the fluid so you can give it time. They were washing and whatnot, so I didn't want to start draining the fluid with it on there. So once we put it back in there, elevate it, we'll drain the lower unit fluid, pressure test it real quick just to make sure there's no obvious leaks or anything like that. Put it back together, and then once the lower unit is on, drain, filled, and then we got to do the water separator. You know what? Let's change the plate out.
Because of the wear?
Yeah,
It's worn a lot on that edge and not much here. So
it's right there, right there.
the plate's a little bit twisted.
Yeah. New gaskets. Oh, wow.
Shaft seals?
That little cap just clips in, and then the 2 seals come out, flat side like all seals.
Yeah. Flat side forward.
Flat side
Out.
towards.
Flat side towards the liquid. You will come out of there.
So I'm leaving Mel and Chris on the job over here because I need to take Matt to a doctor's appointment. But I wanted to touch base with you and let you know that it is a very long, slow process for Matt's improvement. I'm doing everything I can to help him so that he can recover quicker. We don't have a roadmap for what life has to offer us sometimes. My focus since he's been hurt is to keep our guys working, keep our company going, and I've been taking him to all of his doctor's appointments. I had an interview last week with a doctor from Miami because they offer hyperbaric chambers, and I wanted to see if Matt was potentially a candidate for that possibility for faster recovery. And I found out in the process, actually, that there's a doctor here in Key West that recently got 2 beds activated. So I'm extremely anxious to see what I can find out there, if it speeds up what he's going through and heals his brain quicker. I'm hoping to interview him soon so that you guys can hear how he's doing. But he does work from home to help us out because, of course, I'm not a mechanic and these guys need help sometimes with what we're dealing with.
Haven't seen me for a while. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the comments. And most importantly, thanks to everybody for all the well wishes and get better. Haven't been on video, haven't been doing a lot lately. I don't know if you guys saw in the video, but I hit my head, have a pretty bad concussion, and have been dealing with the side effects of that for a few weeks now. I feel like I'm getting better. I have brain fog, some fatigue. My brain fog and clarity seem to be getting better. First and second week after this happened, it was really pretty bad. I really had a hard time focusing. Got a pretty steady headache all the time, although that's been easing up a little bit. So overall, I'm feeling better. I was going to go to work this morning, but by the way, I have whiplash. So what the story with that is, back in November, my dad was driving, we hit a deer, and I got whiplash from that. And then when I fell forward and my face hit the T-top on a boat, and that caused my head to whip back, and then I fell forward with my head wrenched all the way back. So that just irritated everything in there. Slow road to recovery. Been seeing some care providers that have been amazing. I'm hoping that soon I will be back to work at a somewhat maybe limited basis. Not a lot of physical work yet. So that's where I'm at. Again, thank you for everybody with the well wishes, and thanks everybody for watching and helping us make our channel what it is. Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye.